Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Heed Army podcast, the podcast of champions. Of course, it's time to let the dust settle now, Mickey. How are you feeling?
Champion.
Yeah, champion. Absolutely fantastic. It is. It's apologies we didn't do a show straight after. Just I was a bit burnt out, to be honest. We just want to let the dust settle, and also a lot of the players had went away for a celebratory holiday as well. So we want to get some guests on. So we've got 3 tonight. It was going to be 2, but there's an idiot on the podcast. To say I just found out I was an idiot today when I got a message back from Robbie Tinkler going, I didn't know I was on till I seen it on Twitter. And then I checked my message back from Jack, the media manager, and it was the wrong player that I had reached out to. So, but thankfully, Robbie Tinkler is going to join us. We're very thankful to that. And he's going to be with Macaulay Langstaff and Greg Olley as well. They're going to be talking to us about being champions. And obviously, I'm sure looking forward to next season. And as I say, the awards still keep coming into the club. As I say, we'll be talking about this obviously with the players, but players in the team of the season: Olley, Langstaff, and Scott. Langstaff has got player of the season as well, well deserved, and Mike, well, goes without saying, doesn't it? Manager of the season, absolutely fantastic. So it is a fully interactive show. As I'll put up the messages shortly. 1 second, I need to get up the banner. There we go. Right, the messages, here they are. We've got Gordon. He's put, hello, how you doing tonight? We're doing all right. Charles Waff, evening boys. And Charles sent us a message, a picture just before we went on air. He wanted to get one of us looking absolutely stunning. And ladies, this comes with a warning. Brace yourself. Look at that. There we are. So it's a lovely picture taken by Charles Waff, and as you can tell, both of us breathing in on that one. So looking beautiful.
The stewards asked for it to be a barricade.
Just in case there was a pitch invasion. But yeah, no, big thank you to Charles Waff for that photo. So we'll be signing copies next season. Gordon, stop asking. I've actually genuinely lost the phone. I don't know where it is. It was just a spare phone. It was like a throwaway SIM card. And I'm going to have to get a new one for the new season, aren't I? So there we go. We've got good evening. Hope you're both well. We are well, apart from one of us being an idiot, an absolute idiot for advertising the wrong player. But thankfully, he is actually coming on. And so there we go. We've got one. 1 second. Next one here. Sarah Mollett. Good evening. Thank you very much. David Tron. And there we go. We've got the first order for the signed pictures there. For the pick, if there's enough orders, we will start an OnlyFans. And also,
I'm not.
It's just going to be provocative photos of me with like used balls, match balls. That is, I should be using them, but anyway,
it wouldn't be the term I would have used.
That wouldn't. Yeah, I instantly regretted that after I said it. Congratulations, guys, from Brackley fan. But I hate football, of course. Commiserations to Brackley. Went down in the semi-finals against York. Cruel way to go.
Yeah.
And after a fantastic season, and we always.
Had there been any justice, they would have went up, but
without a doubt. And say we've got Lewis Wilkinson. Evening, lads. Warm one today. And if Lewis Wilkinson's the person I think it is, I think he was very drunk before the championship game outside the stadium. And we've got one from Caroline. Even lads, very professional as always. It always is professional. Don't worry about that. Right, I'm going to put this up in the background where we're talking about it. Obviously, we weren't on last week after the game. It was played, and so we can just have a little look at the highlights here. Fantastic as ever from Jack. But the game itself was special. The result didn't matter, but thankfully we won in front of a big crowd, made it a better occasion. But the lads did like they did all season. They played at the 90 minutes and chased every ball down.
It was fantastic. I mean, the reserve seats left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, I know that. I think there was a few people a bit miffed that had been moved for the flag bearers, but I mean Macaulay Langstaff here doing what Macaulay Langstaff does, puts him in the back of the net and player of the season there. I mean, we'll be speaking to him later on, but wow, just rounding it off in front of a big home crowd, a about to be picked up as champions. Just fantastic, isn't it?
Oh, we said it when I spoke to Macaulay. If ever there's someone proved me completely wrong, it's been Macaulay.
Well, it's been we spoke about this earlier today when we had a phone call before when we were talking about the show. I've got to hold my hands up and say the same about Lewis Story. When we signed him, I was underwhelmed, and I've been amazed and privileged to be able to call the games that he's been playing in, because he's been an absolute rock. I mean, we're talking about two players, different ends of the pitch, but both doing absolutely above and beyond.
Yeah, Louis was outstanding. Great on the pitch. That Chorley as well, doing his song, and just fantastic. Absolutely, the lads have been a credit. You know what I mean? You cannot see anything other.
Yeah,
You'd even finish on 94 points and score 99 goals, and it's from top to bottom. Well, isn't he? In my opinion, isn't he top? It's just been a total team effort.
Just while we're on here, obviously we've got the highlights in the background from Gated FC TV. Just a word of how fantastic and annoying for us their goalkeeper was for Hereford, Andreas Sondergaard.
What a game he had.
He was honest, he was having the perfect game, really, apart from the 2 goals he let in. I mean, them saves were just unreal. And there you go. Look at that one reaction save, just unbelievable. We've got more messages coming in while we're on here. We've got one from Charlotte Emily Hodgson's, but evening lads, been looking forward to this. Well, thank you very much. Liv has put what an amazing day it was. Emily's put no captions tonight. We don't put up the captions. They're generated either by Facebook or YouTube. So whether it must be a glitch in the system tonight, but as I say, we hope you can hear us if it's loud enough. We want everyone to be involved. Sean Parry, good evening, guys. So glad to witness a marvelous achievement of the first league title since 1986. Well, I haven't seen that. Just where we've got this here in the background. Mickey, see,
well, I got off Andy, but I'd seen it before. Like
he does his homework, but this was the last side to win the league in 1986. So there we go. Mickey, can you go through that team?
From left to right, there's Paul Duran, Barry Stimson, Justin Robson, Simon Smith, Dave Barnaby, Dave Mitchison, Derek Bell, Peter Davies, Ian Donaldson, Keith McNall. No, it's Justin Robson there, so I'm not sure who the one in the back is. Peter Hampson, Bobby Hulls, and Barry Wardrobe.
And there you go. That was the team that won. And say we got a fantastic picture sent to us. Obviously, it went all around social media. But Charles Waff, there was the modern day champions there.
Yeah.
And what an achievement! Just absolutely amazing, fantastic stuff. It's just been amazing.
What a day! I mean, Chorley was probably the day.
I mean, one second. I was going to pause this in the background there. Well, it's moved, and I was going to pause it. But I mean, looking at that stand, how full it was, just looked amazing. And then obviously you had the fans on this side of the pitch. There, look at that. So pause that. There you go. There, Gated fans on that side of the pitch. You know, that's the difference here. And hopefully, look at that there. I mean, I know it's blurred, but you can see how many people's there. Amazing stuff. Absolutely amazing. And hopefully we can entice some of them people back next season. You know, that's the thing. But at the moment, let's bask in this season and what they've achieved. Oh, I thought Macaulay was going to do one here. I thought it was going to be amazing. Look, just ran out of Puffy's legs at the end. Didn't have another good save. Look, he just made himself big. Sondergaard, he was just unreal. But there, let's see, he's coming on later on, Macaulay, and he's just been there.
Ask him what his favourite goal was.
Oh, I think I would imagine it might be a way to altering him. We've got here
against Kitty.
How's you tonight? Up the heat? Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, Craig, thanks.
It was a brilliant day. Brilliant day. Enjoyed every minute of it. Atmosphere was electric. It certainly was. It was just fantastic. With Charles Waff, I need to make it official. Bernard commented that 600 pies were eaten at the last game. I know I'm a big lad, but I didn't eat all the pies. Yeah, Bernard did put a statement out. I'm hoping to be able to get it up and put it up later on. There was another statement out just while we've got this game on the background. I think it would be quite the time to put this one up. This one is from John Kerr, the safety officer. He put up very nice words about the home crowd this season. On behalf of the safety and security team, I'd say a huge thank you to all the supporters who attended our final game of the season against Hereford. The way our wishes were carried out following the final whistle meant that we were able to go ahead with the on-pitch presentation ceremony as planned. It was exemplary way. It was exemplary the way all but one person remained in the stands, requested until we were set up. We took the informed decision to that our fans would behave as asked and told the National League that this had happened, and they were very impressed with how things went. Finally, I'd like to say a personal thank you for making a full season. Sorry, my first full season as safety officer, a trouble-free one. I feel we have an ongoing relationship between the fans and stewards that turned into one of mutual respect, so works well for both parties. Long may it continue. Here's to next season, the National League. We're on our way. That's from John Kerr. So that, it's just nice. It's been like this all season, but it's just been positive, and it's nice to end on that positivity, isn't it? The season
It is.
with other things like that.
I mean, to be fair, we haven't had a lot of knackers come to the game.
Yeah, there's just two that do the podcast, I think. With Story's been fantastic this season, as of the rest, of course. Yeah, I can hear it's just in case. Oh, there we go. Well, that's good. We've got one here from Stephen O'Brien. Mickey, that was class. Very impressive. There must have been about you reading from the names.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Champions, ole. Yes, there we go. Plus, I mean, this season isn't actually technically over. The playoff final is between AFC Fylde and it's not. That wasn't a slip of the tongue. Yeah, it's York versus Boston, isn't it? Sellout at the LA in the Arc. So it's going to be a good one there. Evening, Jen, still buzzing. What a season. I think we can go into next season with nothing to fear. And I think we'll hold our own. Yeah, I think we will. And Mickey is the Heath's answer to Darren Brown.
I wouldn't even know who he was.
He's like a mind trick magician.
Oh, right.
So I know a third knacker. So there we go. But that was the goal that got pulled back there. But yeah, no, fantastic stuff. If you all just joined us though, we are going to be having three players. It's along the bottom there. Greg, Olley, Macaulay, Langstaff, and Robbie Tinkler will be joining us individually coming up in the next few minutes. We'll probably get the first one. So if you've got any messages, please do send them in. Now, before we get anyone on, we will need to play. So I'll just stop that there. I'll see a little bit of celebrations there. And then I'll fast forward it to when they're picking up the trophy. Here we are. There's the man himself. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pause it there for when we get him on, and we'll talk about that when we get him on very, very shortly. We're going to play a message from our sponsors and also how to like and subscribe to the show. So please do. We'll be back very, very shortly. Well, there was nearly children harmed at the match. They went to the first proper game on, obviously, for the Lives being crowned champions. But my daughter found it a little bit overwhelming when the cheers at the end and singing for the trophy presentation. Bless her. So she had to leave a little bit early. But yeah, fantastic stuff. So please do like and subscribe. We've got people coming on very, very shortly. We've got Greg Olley in the background. Obviously, I'll add him in once his camera comes on. We'll get him in. We've got more messages coming in here. We've got Thomas Lovejoy. He's put York or Boston will be interesting next season. Certainly will. Both sides, you would think, had an underwhelming season. They've made it to the final hurdle. Which one will get over the line? But you would imagine both sides will have a big overhaul next year. Dave Edwards, it was a fantastic evening out at the Gates of the Walls. I know I didn't manage to get there. I did buy two tickets.
That was too short a notice for me.
Found two really ill balls I didn't even know existed, and met loads of new random mates who I'll be going to the game with next year. Fantastic. We've got there we go, David Landis. What would you want? Who do you want to come up? York or Boston? I don't know. York for the less travel.
York less travel, but York's tears would be funny.
It certainly would. Right, we're going to bring on 1 second. I'd have to give him the proper intro here. 1 second. Here we are. We'll play this just before we bring him on. Captain Fantastic. Very flattering image of you at the end there, Greg. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I just sorted my hair out.
Yeah. Greg, the dust settled somewhat. Has it settled in for yourself on what we achieved this year?
I'd say so, yeah, just about. I suppose it kind of never really hits you fully because it's such a like a momentous occasion on the day and stuff, and then once that's over, it's like kind of focus on next season almost. Which I'm obviously really excited for. Just to be back in that league and against the caliber of teams that are going to be in there. I'm just excited to see how we cope.
Well, you would hope that we can hold our own somewhat, because we showed in the FA Cup that we were more than a match for teams above us. So hopefully we can carry that forward into the new season.
Yeah, you'd like to think so. I mean, we've got a good set of lads, and obviously the majority hopefully are staying on, and we can build around that. And obviously any additions are a bonus, but for what we've got, I think, like we showed against Olley in both games, we've got more than enough capable of beating them.
Yeah. And I had the pleasure of speaking to you at the press conference before the final game, and you did manage to add to that 28 assists, didn't you? You got one in the game there, so you must have been happy to finish with 29. What a season! Plus the goals that you scored as well.
No. I think you kind of overlooked the goals just because the amount of assists, but it definitely was just a freak season. I think whether obviously we're obviously going to keep Macca and Caird and Adam and Blackie hopefully, and then the Kai obviously they're a big part of why I've got 28 assists.
Yeah.
So it's
tell the truth, you've got a radar on your right toe.
Well, actually, that one against Hereford was me head. So, and I scored one with me head. So I think the season's definitely been a bit of a weird one.
Yeah,
I was going to say the one where you scored the header I couldn't believe that.
I know. I had to actually put some power into it as well, and I've got none of that with me head.
And wow. I mean, obviously, we started the season off in pretty good form. When did you start to think, oh, we could be potentially going to, have a good shot at this?
So I did an interview with Jack the other day, and I said I probably felt it against Hebburn, the first game of the season. It's not often we've had in pre-season since I've been here, two teams that go onto a pitch, one half and the other half, and both have such a strong team out.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I felt like the personnel that we brought in, like Ed and Adam, and obviously the other players as well that we brought in, like the loan players especially, just added so much, and they're all just fit in straight away, like a click straight away. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then I think during the season, probably the kiddie game away from home when we won 3-2, I think we were only 6th or 7th at the time, and they were 2nd. And obviously, how kiddie were playing and stuff at the time, it was just to come, and they pretty much battered us for the full game, but we won 3-2, and I think that summed our season up. We've had so many times where we've been down, especially like Southport, Farsley, all these games.
I mean, that in itself is quite unique, isn't it? I mean, I mean, obviously you always hope your team can come from behind, but it just seemed to be, if we went 1-2 goals down, we've talked about loads on the podcast, the process doesn't change. And, with the firepower we have up front and the captain kicking the balls about, it just felt like the belief was there all the time in the start of the pitch.
Yeah, that's, I guess, obviously that sums up our whole season, I think. Like the Southport game, I think it was me and Maka after the first, when we scored the first, we were like, we're going to score at least another 2. And that was just how we felt. And I think every game that we played in was, that's how we, like, that was our mentality, was we were always going to score goals. Whether we conceded any, that was part and parcel, but we were always going to score a lot of goals.
Yeah. Well, Joe's put no green away top, Greg.
No, not this time, no. It's in my cupboard. It is in my cupboard.
We are going to stick with tradition. We'll have you on before the season starts, because that helped us win the league. I'm sure it was just that appearance in the green top, nothing to do with the goals. It was the green top.
Yeah.
So we'll bring it back for pre-season.
I thought you would have the medal on, Greg.
I know. I should have put that on as well. I'm very superstitious about stuff, bro. So
yeah. Oh,
you don't take the cup home.
No, I think we've got to give it back in like June or something.
I would have had a tattoo on me. It would have been sitting in the corner of my living room.
I have had a couple of messages asking if I've slept next to it, like, but no.
Oh, that's disappointing. Well, there goes questions. Mentioning the cup and t-shirts, there is going to be a pop-up shop at Gated Stadium this Saturday at 12 till 4 p.m. You can have your photograph taken with the cup, I think, on the Heed bus as well. And you can buy limited edition Champions t-shirts as well on the day. So if you want to get down to Gated Stadium, I'm sure they have the other merchandise, the Champions Cups, coasters, or you name it. Get down and get yourself one there. And let's see. But let's just talk about this moment. 1 second. Before we do that, I'll actually play this in the background. You going to pick it up. This must have been quite a moment to take in. I mean, it was just watching it, and I had to talk about it at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I was stood in the tunnel. I said to like my parents and my girlfriend and stuff. It was like, that was probably the proudest moment of my life. Knowing that I was walking out there by myself and everyone was cheering, and yeah, that was probably the proudest moment of my football career, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful moment, and
but this bit really annoyed me, actually. I don't know why he felt the need to come up and say what he did. He was like, "Don't get me soaked." I was like, "You are going to get in the way." I was about
should have said, if you didn't get out the way, I'll punch your face in for relegating in the first place.
I know.
Yeah, but I mean, how many times have you watched this back?
I've watched it a few. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Greg, I must be up to 25 by now myself.
Alex squirted me in the face with a champagne.
Yeah. I'm guessing it didn't taste nice, that champagne.
Nah.
Yeah, it never does it?
Never does.
But, I mean, obviously, you can see all the players there. That everyone was obviously just getting involved, and it was lovely to see Danny Greenfield come back as well and start that game. So he played fantastic. But it just showed you the unity of the team. Of course, afterwards, after we clinched the title at Chorley, there was that lovely photo, which I haven't actually got to hand, where you had the Greenfield shirt. It just goes to show a lot of the unity that you had in the dressing room this year.
Yeah, I mean, like, Danny's a pivotal part of our team. He has been for the last 3 years. He's grown so much as like a player and a person. But yeah, the like, for him to go through what he has done over the last couple of years is and to play that game, it meant so much for him. But like, it meant more for us as well. Like, we were there trying to support him and stuff. So it does show how much we are together as a family. And like I said, he's been through so much. He deserves. He deserves a lot. Yeah, he deserves a lot.
Lovely young man. But obviously, I mean, the season ended. The accolades and haven't stopped coming, because obviously this happened this week as well in the team of the season. You must have been happy with that as well.
Yeah. No, I think I was very happy again. But that's picked like chosen by all the players. So we had to pick our 11. Obviously, we couldn't choose ourselves, but we had to pick an 11 as well. So to know that the players have picked us is, I think it tastes a bit better.
Yeah.
Obviously, when they're picking team of the week, I think they just pick the goal scorers and the clean sheets. But I think that's it is just a bit extra special, especially the team. When you look at the team and some of the caliber of players in there, it is a very good team that could probably compete in, I'd like to say, as high as possible. But I think it would be a very good team.
Definitely.
And it's missing a lot of our players still. Sorry, it's missing out a lot of our players still.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to see if you had Brackley's defence and our attack.
Oh well, that's just because of Brackley's pitch. That.
Yeah, that's you can't discredit the lads at the back, Mickey. You're terrible.
Well, I'm not discrediting them, but
say that won the league, the swine.
Tinks is coming on in a second. Tinks is coming on.
Hey, if it had been me, Tinks would have been in that team of the season now. I've never seen a fullback who played better than Robbie Tinkler this year.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was nice to have him back.
What does the summer have ahead for Greg?
So we're taking the dogs up to Scotland at the end of this month, and then we're off to Greece just by ourselves. So, and then it's back to work.
You and the dog.
Oh, well, that's good. So it's but mind you, I mean, not that we stalk the players on social media, but I noticed you were absent on the players' trip away.
Yeah, just couldn't get away. So I know.
Did you not get a pass?
No, I have the pass. Don't worry.
It's when he goes in the other room, gets a clip round the ear. You didn't.
What was the celebration like on the Saturday after you won the? Did you all go out?
Yes. No, but the Saturday night was good. I think we stayed in the stadium till it was about 9 o'clock. I think. Just with all the fans and their families and the reception part. So, and then we just went to a bar in Newcastle and had a little, all of us together. So obviously it's still it's weird because some of the players are going, and obviously the loan players are going back. So it's like one final hurrah kind of.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Greg, thank you very much for joining us. We've got Macaulay waiting in the wings, and can't wait for next season. And as I said, I'm sure you'll do us proud again.
Oh yeah, looking forward to it.
Congratulations as well, mate. Well played again.
Absolutely
amazing, mate.
Amazing. Cheers. Thank you very much. Cheers, Greg. Bye.
Take care, bud.
There we go, Greg. Olley. We have got Macaulay just waiting in the wings, so we'll bring him in now. There we go. The Ghoul Machine himself. How are you doing?
Hello, lad. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad.
Well, can he down there, Mugger?
Aye. 4 years in Portugal, Liz.
Yeah, I was thinking your father had been out with a gravy browning. I think your dad had been out with a bisto.
Obviously, I mean, we're just talking to Greg there. I know you've seen a bit of it, but this happened this week. You must be over the moon with that. I mean, obviously, the season you had, top goal scorer, champions, and then just to have this little icing on the cake.
Yeah, exactly that. I think it's just the icing on the cake. I think, obviously, individual accolades come after the sort of team success. Obviously, it was an unbelievable feeling to win the league, but then obviously, like the couple of weeks after that, and to win the individual awards, it's been a great feeling. And that one there is special because I think Greg mentioned it there. It's voted for by the sort of players you play against in the league. I think that always makes it a little bit special. It's to get that sort of recognition from them players and some top players in the league as well.
Yeah.
So I think that one probably means more to me than the actual top scorer one. That accolade, and obviously to get into the team season with Greg and Keds, that sort of all these awards are just icing on the cake for a great season.
Yeah, and obviously, I think we spoke to you just before the season started, and you had mentioned that you felt sharp, or had seen in pre-season you were sharp. And do you think that was down to obviously how the team kept training after the season was curtailed last year, and working your way through from March onwards and keeping yourselves fit and ticking over?
Yeah, that was massive. I think obviously a lot of teams stopped training, and you can't really blame them for that. There was no games to train for. I think, but that just speaks volumes of Mike. How much it means to him, and it means for him to sort of improve as players. Sort of keep training that 6-month period leading into pre-season. I think that just made us in good stead. And it's like we learned so much technically in that 6 months. Obviously, improved physically. I think we were just way ahead of everyone else going into pre-season.
Yeah,
and I think that's just showed in the season.
And obviously we've talked about the squad's bond, very evident, of course, right throughout the season. But do you think that helped when new players come in on loan, that they obviously had to step up to the mark where yous were at?
Yeah, they've mentioned it. A few of the lads that came in on loan and said how easy of a dressing room it is to get along in. I think that's massively important. You know, when you're a loan lad coming in and you're coming in a new environment, you've got to sort of try and embed yourself in the club. I think we all did that, to be fair. There wasn't one that came in and was sort of quiet or didn't do the things that we did off the pitch. You know, they all tried to integrate into the dressing room, and they did that brilliantly. But I just think it's just such an easy dressing room to get along in. I knew that coming in. Obviously, I came back and knew a few lads already. But it's just such a good dressing room, and I think we've shown that showed on the pitch.
And of course, as well, some of the players that have come in, they're very young and moving from other parts of the country as well. It's massively important that they are able to settle in, because anyone moving to another part of the country would find it hard, yet then have to perform on top of that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why it's important for us to sort of make them feel welcome. You know, you've got lads like Phil who've moved up halfway through the season from back down in Cambridge and places like that, and it's obviously can be difficult moving to a new environment. But I think, like I say, the dressing room we've just made it sort of easy as we can for them. And like they've said, obviously when they've come back to the clubs now, they've said how much they've enjoyed it, and like how thankful they are for us for making them feel so welcome.
Yeah, and obviously back to yourself, because that's why we've got you here. The amount of goals you scored was just absolutely unreal. All different types of goals as well. But I mean, what was your top 3 goals of the season? Because obviously you scored in some important games, but which are the ones that stand out to you?
I think my favourite one, it's got to be Altrincham. I don't think it was my best goal, but I think it's my favourite one. Obviously, how much it meant to the club, and even that day against Charlton, how big that occasion was. Obviously on TV. Obviously, we knew that was going to be the case. Obviously, the draw was done before that Altrincham replay, so we knew that was going to be the case. So that was my favourite goal by far. How much it meant to me, how much it meant to the club. So that'd be number 1. I think my best goal was probably Kidderminster at home. I think maybe. Yeah, that one. That obviously on my weak foot. That's a special goal to me as well. And then
that was your swing.
Yeah, just swung my left foot as hard as I can.
Good, yeah.
And my third one, it was probably at home.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously 2-0 down, and obviously I scored the equaliser. And then a couple of minutes later, obviously it wasn't the best score, it was scrappy. I started getting cramped as I was running as well. But I think for that one there, that was massive in terms of, I look back at that game and that part of the season where that was probably the most important, and that was arguably the most important goal for me that I've scored this season. So they're probably my top 3. Yeah, but there's a few more I could include in that as well. But I think they're the ones that stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Southport, the equaliser. Yeah,
Southport. Yeah, that was another goal I could have mentioned there. But like I say, that was so early in the season. You sort of you forget about them ones.
Yeah.
But them 3, them 3 have been my favourite, I think.
Definitely. And
when was the last time you scored over 30 goals in a season?
I don't think I have. I think
not even youth football.
Yeah, maybe when I was 15. I think I might go for Billingham and Thorny actually in all competitions. The season I signed for Gateshead. But yeah, before that I can't remember. Probably about 15, 14. Yeah.
And I'll ask you the question I asked Greg. When did you start to believe that, if when the season started, when did you think, I think we can make some waves here?
It's difficult to say. I knew from quite early that we could win it, but to say I thought we were going to win it, obviously it's so hard to say. But we spoke about it in the change room after the end of the season, when it's sort of like debrief about the season. I think I said that the game, that was massive, that game. I think if they'd have won and then won the games, then they could have went above us.
Yeah.
And they were obviously high in confidence, had momentum on the back of that amazing FA Cup run, and they were sort of feared for a reason because they were playing so well. And I think I beat them, not just to beat them, but the way we did it. 4-0 at home. I just think that's when I probably believed it earlier that we could win the league, but I think that was the time when I thought, yeah, we're definitely going to do it. But it's been so many times. I think like it's after the Sounds, the Brackley game when we got beat. I think that was sort of the best thing that could happen to us because we've been on a good run. Obviously, we drew against Bradford Park Avenue and then got beat off Brackley. And I remember thinking after that game, sort of like a bit of a reset now. Like obviously we were high in confidence. It's just brought back down to earth a little bit. And I can remember obviously Brackley rightly saw they celebrated quite heavily after that game, almost as if they thought they'd sort of done it. And I can remember speaking to a few lads and thinking, that could be a massive positive, that, because that gave us the motivation. We've seen them celebrate and gave us a little bit of a motivation to say, well, you haven't won it yet. And I think we just reset from there. And I think from there we went on. I don't think we got beat for the rest of the season after that, if I'm right. So I think that after the Sounds, that could have been the point where which we look back on and think that was a massive part of our season.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm sure we only got beat twice in the last 25 games. 3 at the most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
25 games.
I think that was like, I think we only got beat back-to-back defeats in the full season once. I think that was a massive part of our sort of season, and that's massively down to Mike because how much he was on about mindset and sort of reacting. And every time we think we get beat, we sort of reacted so well. We're on a run of 5-6 games unbeaten, winning the majority of them. I think that was a massive part of the reason we won the league is how well we reacted to defeats. You've seen some teams sort of go on bad runs and bad patches of form. We didn't never really seem to do that. I think that comes from Mike.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I noticed, and it's really a strange thing to say because obviously yourself, Keds, and Blackie and Campbell scored so many goals, but all of us were so unselfish in front of goal. Like the amount of times you'd laid off when you wouldn't have had an argument with anyone having a dig when they're in the 6-yard box, but the amount of times you laid it off and still scored all them goals is just amazing. I mean, it must have felt quite good when you were all 3 or 4 years times when you were on the pitch, just harassing defenses. Was it? Did you just feel like you had the keys to unlock them?
Yeah, 100%. You see the quality of players you name that I play with there. We create so many chances. So I was saying this the other day. I was saying, like, obviously we get good chances for ourselves, but because of the chances that the likes of Greg create for us, if we're not scoring, if we're getting in the right areas, there's someone else there ready to tap it in. So it's just been unbelievable playing with them. I think, Adam's a little bit different. Adam's sort of a little bit more creative than me, Keds, and Blackie. He comes a bit deeper, links the play up. Me, Blackie, and Keds are sort of a little bit more selfish than Adam. We like to get on the score sheet. So, but I think we just all complement each other so well. Obviously, that's sort of showed in our goals return. I think it's been unbelievable. But I mentioned earlier in the season, I genuinely believe that we could, all 4 strikers, we get 15 goals. Yeah. And I think, obviously, me, Keds, and Adam did that. And I think Blackie would have more than did that if he didn't get injured. I think he had the best minutes per goal in the league. He had double figures before his injury. So I think that's an unbelievable achievement.
It certainly is. And what was your favourite goal scored by someone else in the team? Because there was some corkers scored this year.
Favourite goal, we put me on the spot there. There's been a couple. I think Greg's against Alfreton, maybe.
Yeah.
Because of obviously the game, the goal as well. It was unbelievable. Yeah. The goal was special. Adam Campbell's obviously scored a few worldies. He had a bit of a competition with himself in terms of goal this season.
To see what noises I could make when he did it.
yeah. But there's probably been goals I forgot to mention there. I think Bales is against Southport to make it 3-1 and put that game sort of at bed.
Yeah.
That was one of my favourite goals. Bales against Charlie. So there's been loads. I probably forgot about some there.
Who would have thought he would have turned into a goal scoring midfielder in the last few games of the season?
Who, Bales? Yeah, he's been brilliant. He's got so much ability. And I said to Bales the other week, I was saying, you're my player of the season by far. I could name anyone, but I think Bales is brilliant all season. Yeah. I think he's adding goals to his game just took me to a sort of different level towards the end of the season.
And just before I let you go, I want to ask you one more question about your strike partner, about Keds. When did we learn that he could do a long throw? Because we've only seen it in the last 2 games.
I don't even know, to be honest. I think we were trying him in training. We were preparing for a team, actually. Might have been maybe in Southport, because we've got a long throw.
Yeah.
And and Mike was sort of throwing him in rather than over here. He was throwing him in for us to defend. And I think Ked just said, Mike, I've got like a decent throw. I can throw it in the box, like, so the defenders can prepare for a long throw. And everyone was like, nah, he hasn't. And he actually lined it up, and it's actually decent. It's quite long. So I think from then on, we just said, like, if he's got it, we'll just use it. So we used it since then, really.
Oh, well, we'll be able to see it next season. I'll let
Don't
make
you dare cut me off
questions.
before I ask my questions.
Yep.
The most important question.
Yeah.
How smashed were you on that Portugal trip?
Genuinely, I don't think I was sober for the full 4 days. I think
Yeah.
as soon as we got in that Newcastle airport, I was drinking. I don't think I stopped drinking until the last day. It was 4 days of drinking.
And if Mike's watching, it was Perry.
Yeah. If Mike's watching, I was drinking water and going on the runs every morning, drinking protein shakes. There's protein shakes all week.
You're not meant to mix them with body and Red Bull, though.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for the goals this season. It's just a joy, absolute joy. We'll never ever forget it.
Thank you very much.
Oh, actually, just before we go, one more. There's a question here. Which teams are you looking forward to playing against next year? Obviously, we've got Oldham, Scunthorpe, Southend, Yeovil, and obviously potentially with the Hollywood team, Wrexham, if they don't go up.
You just mentioned a few massive teams there. That league just filled with huge teams now. I think it's just as good as a league too, if I'm being honest. The amount of big clubs are in that league. Obviously, you've got the likes of Notts County and Wrexham who are in the playoffs. So if one of them obviously stays down, they're massive clubs. Oldham, Scunthorpe. Yeah, you can go and name them all. It's just an unbelievable league. Chesterfield, yeah. Then Grimsby in the playoffs. You can go on. You can name 11 or 12 massive clubs. I'm just looking forward to playing them all, to be honest, and just testing myself at a sort of higher level.
Definitely. Well, we'll never challenge a player, but if Wrexham do stay down, and when you score your hat trick against them, you're gonna have to come up with a good celebration because it could end up on the documentary. So you want to make it.
Yeah.
So you.
That would be nice.
That's it, because he might end up there.
Olley, thank you very much, and congratulations once again.
Take care, Matt. Well done, bud.
Take care, lads.
Also, thank you to your dad for our intro as well that he made for us on the podcast.
No worries.
Cheers.
Cheers. See that.
There we go, Macaulay. Fantastic talking. Lots of messages coming. Sorry that we can't, because some of the things we're talking about, but we'll put all the messages up later on, the ones that we can. But we've got the man who wasn't meant to be on the podcast if there wasn't an idiot on the show, but it's worked out for the best because he is here now. Robbie, how are you doing?
Hello, fellas. Not bad.
So what went through your mind when you seen that you were on the show and you didn't know?
I just randomly seen a tweet from yourself saying you're on the podcast. So I just woke up and thought, oh well, he's took it in under his own off his own back. So I best get myself prepped.
I was mortified this morning when he went, oh, I didn't know, and I was like, oh, I didn't read the message right.
I text Greg. That was what it was. I text Greg and I said, "Oh, what's the crack?" And he said, "Oh, did you not get a text off Jack?" I was like, "No." Listen.
I had to quickly go around this morning. I had to quickly go around this morning, like messaging people, going, "Sorry, I've messed up." No, we've got you here. I'd say, what a way to come back to the club and have a season like that, especially after your first stint.
Yeah, I was actually speaking to Buster today. I went in today and I just said, look, from when I left the club, I think I wouldn't be wrong in saying that I haven't played well. I think I struggled when I went Aldershot for reasons I'm not too sure. York last year, I wasn't great. I'm going to blame COVID and not having a run of games in it, but I don't know what it was. And obviously I've came... today, this year, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. From minute one, I came in and I was welcomed. I enjoyed it from day dot. The training and the structure, I've just loved it.
I'll say, obviously, when
it's shown now, mate. You are absolutely. I'm not blowing smoke. I keep saying it. I said it to you on Twitter many a time. You've been outstanding all season. And I've just said to Macaulay there, I don't know a better fullback. How you're not in that team of the season, I do not know.
Oh, I fully appreciate it. Thank you.
I say I was expecting a few more goals this season. Or you teased with a few early on in the season. And I thought we've been challenging Macaulay there towards the end, but
Right. Listen, I'll be honest. I've got to cover the lads at the back. We're leaking goals left, right, and centre. So I thought, you know what, we're going to have to move backwards.
I mean, you talk about the lads at the back. The rotation in the team was used really well this year, and a lot of people maybe don't like to see rotation at the back, but we've seen obviously the likes of Jack Hunter come in there, Magnier come towards the end, Story, even I think Bailey even dropped back at certain games when injuries and stuff, but everything was just held tight. The line was held, everyone knew the rules. And it's quite unique, especially at this level. I mean, I know you see rotation at in the higher echelon, but the way we were playing, it was beautiful. You never had a panic seeing anyone slot into the back.
Yeah, I think it goes back, like I said, the structure and the prep that we have done. Any of the prep that we do goes into, if you aren't in that starting 11 that's doing the prep, you need to know what everyone else's job is. Because like I say, if you get called upon, I mean, it hasn't happened much this year, but I've had a few conversations this year where they've asked us whether I want to go and play in the 4. And like I say, it was one of those things where it was kind of dropped on us a couple of times, and I thought, well, 100% I can do it.
Yeah.
And the only reason I can do it is because we've done the prep and I know what the job role is. And like I say, that's just hats off to Mike and Busted to me. Like,
yeah. And also as well, I mean, I'm saying we're just obviously praising everybody, but I mean, obviously your creativity going forward as well. There was quite a few balls whipped into the box this season that frightened goalkeepers and defenders alike. You must have been happy to be able to contribute that way as well and getting forward.
Yeah, do you know what? I was thinking about this the other day. I don't actually know what my stats are this year from assists and stuff, but I think, to be honest, I could have done more. That's in my own right. There's been times when I can see the play building and I haven't probably got up as much as I should have, but that's just that natural instinct to be right, defend first, make sure you keep it solid. But I think going back to the defensive question, I think we've probably conceded a lot more than we would have liked. Believe it or not, we weren't really happy with the amount we're conceding, and I think it's the first time in a while I've conceded more than one quite a few times, because I remember even the first time I was here, I mean, we're rock solid.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's that we've conceded a lot this year. I just feel as if, I think when Brackley's record, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean,
yeah, it was. I mean, it's
just crazy.
It's a crying shame that they had a season like that and didn't get anything for it at the end. That's really should be 3 places in this league to go up, but it's an argument for another day. But yeah,
well, I'm not complaining. That's for sure.
No, definitely not complaining.
No, I was going to ask you, was it Aspen that brought you in?
Yeah, originally, yeah. I went on loan to Furby when they were in the National League, and I was a midfielder then. And I played, I think it was about 15 games for them, and I scored a few goals. And at the end of that season, I went back into Middlesbrough, and I got a phone call on probably day 1 of pre-season, and they said, "Oh, Gates, I want to take you." And it was one of those where, obviously, everyone wants to play in the league, but I just thought to myself, well, even worst case scenario, I'll go 6 months, see what happens, and we'll play from there.
Yeah.
And things didn't exactly play out the way I wanted it in the first few months.
Yeah.
But I ended up coming back when Steve came in, and that was when I pushed out the fullback. And like I say, from there, it's just been a bit of a natural progression playing there. I think it helps when you can see the picture a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm not to say that I can't play midfield, but it's a midfielder will say it's a lot easier to play fullback.
Yeah.
You see that as your position now?
I think so. I think It's difficult to say because in day one of pre-season, if Mike says we want you to 4,
That's true.
I think I look like a dafty. But
Yeah.
I think if I was to write on a piece of paper, I think I would say full back would be number 1.
Yeah.
I think I've started to learn the position a bit more as well. I think there's a lot to it that, especially when you're not too quick, you need to be a bit cleverer.
Yeah.
So
Quick, I've seen you fly down that right-hand side.
you've not seen me fly, I can tell you. No flying goes on down my right-hand side.
It's hard work when you've got to run up and run back.
That's the way.
Mind you talk about flying, although I didn't actually see this clip. I mean, not that we're stalked online, but I've seen Carl Magnier falling from the sky on a was it like a bungee jump or was it a free fall?
It was a free fall, yeah. We
actually because there was no video evidence.
We played it. There was a drinking game of it was pretty much the theme of the holiday. It was basically a left and right game, and you put both hands out like that to miss a goal. And if you cock up, you've basically got to take a drink or do said forfeit. So on the way out one night, we found this free fall, and said forfeit was a go on the free fall. And I just happened to lose after Carl. So, yeah, it was... I'm glad I was drunk, put it that way.
When Carl fell and you seen the lads going wild at the bottom, did that steady your nerves or...?
No, it made it much worse because I watched what he had to do. I was just stood at the top in a harness, and some random Russian bloke stood above us, and oh no. In fact, I don't really want to remember that, to be honest. I'm glad I'm glad it was 3 days in, put it that way.
Oh, that's all right. Was that the worst thing that happened on the holiday, or is that all the only thing we can say?
We'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at
it was brilliant. Honestly, it was unforgettable. It was Robbie, one of those, like,
you're
a group of lads and everything.
You're a handsome man, Robbie, and this is the first time this has ever happened, but we've got a load of spam for a sexy adult chat come up on the chat facility.
I think my father's over the moon with that. He wasn't listening, our ears have just pricked.
Yeah.
I think your uncle sent it for you.
He's doing me father.
Oh man, but I mean, obviously, you must be happy to be back up into the National League on a national level. And we mentioned before the teams that's in that league this year is just phenomenal. It is basically the 4th division, really, isn't it? In all intents and purposes, the teams that's there. Every week's a big game now, isn't it?
That's it. I think, no disrespect to the North, but I think the margin is really big from top to bottom. That's not to say, obviously, you don't slip up and stuff, because it is difficult. I think there's a massive margin in the National League, but it's for a better quality. Yeah. I think, obviously, your top 10, 15 teams, I think you could pick out of them however many ex-league teams, or I mean, there's so much history in all the teams there. I look forward to it. I really do. It's what you think about for the last 9 months of graft.
Mm-hmm.
Now that it's settled in, sunk in, and now we're looking elsewhere, you think, well, it's time to play them games. You know what I mean? We've deserved it.
And of course, you obviously with the club during the dark days, as we like to call it now. We went to a lot of these places and outperformed a lot of these teams as well. I mean, one of the games that sticks out to me was Chesterfield away. I don't know if you remember that one.
Just about to say it was 3-0.
Yeah, that was a
3-0 away from home.
Yeah, that wasn't it?
Stevie Rigg.
I was just about to say I can remember, because I remember all their lads being stood in the centre circle.
Yeah.
And they would to an absolute chorus of boos, and I just thought, I wouldn't like me playing here. But
yeah, that was at half time, wasn't it? As well.
Yeah, it was. There was a quick, obviously, way. Look at them now. I mean, the backing and stuff that they've got now, and again, it's another one. The crowds that they're getting, it's phenomenal, because the lads will tell you when you're playing against that kind of number, like you're playing when you got them in your home ground and when you're playing away. the last game of the season there was just unbelievable. Like when
Yeah.
you're talking about those kind of numbers, you want them every week, and it's obviously difficult to track those numbers, but it was just unbelievable. We did. I thought it was something different.
The last time we were in the National League, we played Salford. They were I'm going to say the Hollywood team, the team with the notoriety, and we showed them up on the day, didn't we? And obviously they went a different direction to us after that season.
1,500 on a Tuesday night in the ground.
Yeah, I was going to say, was that
more than matched them?
First game of the season.
First home game of the season.
First home game of the season. Yeah, because it was Maidenhead, wasn't it? Away.
Yeah.
Greg's chip. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's
He's
the
still
cross.
talking now.
The cross. Cross.
Oh,
I tell you what, I've seen some Thunderbolts, and I've said that was a clearance to some of them.
Yeah.
Like Mags.
What was my volley then?
Well, I'm not gonna disrespect you. That was a good goal.
I enjoyed that one. It was
better than them high pitched squeals, so it's always good when you get us to that.
I mean, you did scuff it a bit, like.
It is on just below my knee, but it went in.
Still went in.
Doesn't matter. If you've got the class on your toe, you've got the class just below your knee. So there.
What's been your favourite moment of the season, other than winning the league, obviously?
It's up there. Like, I think there was two that stick out for me in this season, and it was, I didn't play, but Farsley away. I can remember, because I don't know whether anyone knows this, but that was supposed to be our team night out afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So we've went in at half time, obviously getting beaten. I just went to the lads, oh my word, this is the worst time in the world to be going out.
Yeah.
And obviously the big turnaround at the last minute, and it was just epitomised the season, really. That was obviously at that point. And then obviously Darlow. I mean, I went in a Darlow, and I said to a few of the lads, I said I had to bite my tongue. I think I'd have been sacked if I said what I felt.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you?
But it's one of them where you can't write it. You know what I mean? It's you watch it on telly sometimes, and you just don't think it's going to happen. And just to be part of it, I mean, it's special. I
mean, can I just ask you about the FA Cup game as well before we let you go? I mean, we more than matched them right throughout that game, but did you see any of the Charlton players go, oh God, this is a bit more tougher than what we thought? Because there's a few times we got in behind them.
I think the only difference between us on the day was how deadly they were when they got a chance. Because, I mean, I think they had, from what I can remember, I might be wrong, 3 maybe chances.
Yeah.
Possibly 4, and they've managed to score 2. I mean, the second one's unlucky. The first one's just, I thought the ball across, I thought he could have just smashed it, but it was a great ball. But I was disappointed. Like, I said this straight away. I was like, even if we'd have scored, I feel as if I'd have rather got beat 4-1 just to score and have a little bit of something for the fans to go at. I said, to get beat like that, like, it wasn't in a whimper, obviously, because we like you say, we matched them at times, and we had some good chances. But I just, even now, it's a bit of a bugbear, because I think, did they do anything special? No. And I mean, the chances that we had when they came up, when I signed my contract, in some of them videos, obviously, when AC had his chance and Macca's chance, and you look and you go, oh. But you can't question them, because at the end of the day, they've been absolutely brilliant for us.
On another day, it could have been also different, and but see, we can't complain with what we achieved, can we? A good cup run, and help build the reputation of the club back up. More importantly,
100%. And like I say, hopefully we'll see what we can do this year, because we at least get to skip around, don't we, this year? Is that right? How do we go? I think we might end up. I think we get rid of one of the rounds, don't we? So
we're just a 4th qualifying round.
Yeah, so that helps the legs, I suppose.
It certainly does. Well, hopefully we can get a kind draw. Well, I said, Robbie, thank you very much. I say that the unexpected guest on your end. Thank you very much for coming on. It's been lovely to talk to you, and just once again, thank you for a fantastic season.
Yeah, spot on. Lovely. I've enjoyed it actually, lads. Well done.
Cheers.
Keep on doing your stuff.
Cheers. Thank you.
See you later. Bye bye.
I'll ring you up in a week.
Give it a year. Give it a year. Once a year.
Oh, give it a year. See you later.
See you later.
There we go. Right, we've got some messages. We have missed a load. There is a lot here. Charlotte, I'm sorry. But I'm watching my 10-year-old. He's asking what an adult dating site is. Well, give it 8 years, pets. You'll be wishing you never knew. 1 second. I have missed some out there. I do apologize. I just didn't want to bring them up when we're talking to the players. I thought we're having a good conversation. So Lewis Wilkinson's put, well done on getting promoted as champions. Obviously, we've formed a formidable partnership with Kedwin Scott. Do you think you can flourish in National League? Obviously, that was meant for Macaulay, so apologies didn't get that out. There was a few that we did miss on that front. On Charles Wharf, I remember when we were 3-0 down at half-time against Darlow, my lens field. It's 2-0 down, wasn't it? Not 3-0. How Charlie. 1 second. One of my favourite players, solid, reliable, quite the game changer, loads of vision, obviously about our lovely guest there, Robbie Tinkler. And evening, lads. Congratulations on winning the league. Amazing season. Well done. Best right back in the league. He certainly is. And I was, because we're not in that league anymore. But he's best in the one above as well. Let's not be daft. Right, keep their messages coming in. One thing I did want to share with you, because I did put it on social media. I don't know if Mickey's seen this or not, but I went to my daughter's school on for like a parents meeting thing, and where's that message to get it off? And you had to sign in, and there's like an iPad, and you take a photo of yourself. And I just thought, oh yeah, David Gaddis photo, and then I didn't realize that photo was going to be on my guest pass for like visitors pass for in the school.
Shit.
Exactly, and so I put this, and what like teachers were coming in saying, oh, I've been told to come and have a look at this photo. I was like, oh, devastated, absolutely devastated. But if people want to send in messages for the next 5 minutes, we'll stay on. But I'd say we're probably going to have a break for the next few weeks. I'd imagine the retain list will come out soon. We'll probably do a show when that comes out, or maybe give it a week for the dust to settle. And, if any players are leaving, we'll endeavour to reach out and talk to them before they go on to pastures new. But yeah, I think we'll just have a few weeks off, and then throughout the summer, a show probably once a month if there's any news, and we'll bring it back up and start it back up for pre-season. But it's been a good one, isn't it, Mickey?
Did I expect us to win the league? No. Did I expect us to get in the playoffs? Possibly.
Yeah.
I'm delighted we've won the league. I think I've said a couple of times now, I was talking to a friend of mine, Hebby. I think it was after the Bradford Park Avenue game, and I think it was the Boston game. And me and Hebby spoke then. It was about October, November time. Said, I can't say we're getting beat very many times at all.
Yeah, it's just very unique, and it's just been lovely to, and also as well, this has been our first full season as a video podcast as well. And it is. I've just realised I'll have to put an apology up. We didn't get the audio up on like Spotify and stuff, and we probably won't for this one. I'm gonna have to rip it off YouTube, I think, and then upload it. Our storage is full. I didn't delete the old shows in the broadcast system, so we can't rip the audio down. But we will endeavour to get that up if you do listen to the audio podcasts. So if anyone is listening, apologies to that. For that, we'll endeavour to get that on and updated. So yeah, but no, say thank you for sticking with us. So it's been a learning curve with the video technology. I think we've mastered it now. It's been good. We've been able to get guests from all over the world, and we'll endeavour to do that going forward, and hopefully more interviews.
You might even do it in your garden, David. Again,
who knows? We'll do it in the garden. The last time we did it in the garden, and the wind blew the light over. It was good. It was good until it happened. But yeah, and also as well, I think we'll definitely try and do one from a pub or something and have everyone together, and have a good old time, and hopefully maybe even get the main man himself, Dave Allen, to do a live quiz. Or we could do one from a quiz. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, no, it's just an unreal season, and thank you to everyone that's interacted. And if you're new to the podcast, even just now, there's still new names that are coming up in the message, which is always just lovely. We'll just say that's what we want: more people finding the show, but more importantly, following the club. And yeah, we've got
fantastic to see the amount of kids and families there.
Oh, I know, that was
brilliant. I absolutely love it.
One thing we haven't mentioned as well, because obviously it's a little bit out of memory, that war flags. It was great to have the flags there. You know, at the beginning, it just added that little something extra because of the day. Cow Daily, very impressive production, lads, this season. Thanks for keeping me connected. My club and my travels. Thank you. And we've got Charlotte just put, I vote for Dave to do a quiz. I'm sure he will. He loves to get that quiz.
He's a quiz master.
Yes, Craig. Say we've got him back involved on the messaging into the podcast, which is great. You know, just hopefully we can keep it going. And Sam Pennington's put, been an amazing season. Let's hope we can retain and get more fans. Yeah, I say hopefully, and also the prospect of a few TV games next season. I'm guessing they're probably going to be away, but that'll help the people that can't travel. And so we've got looking forward to next season's podcast already. Well, thank you very much.
Well,
and say the Waldens, they've been very big contributors throughout this season as well. Thank you to them. Any update on the ladies, Mickey? Yeah, sorry.
Thanks, Sam. I was watching them against Rutherford the other day. They got before 2.
Still in the chance, though, aren't they? With promotion, there's still a chance of promotion, though, aren't they?
There's a slight chance of promotion. I can't really get into it, Davey, but there's a slight chance of promotion. To be fair, to the lasses, considering the way the season's panned out for them, it's been stop-start all season for them.
Yeah,
teams dropping out of the league, COVID. They've never really got a good run of games where they can find the form. It's been stop, start. But what I will say about the lasses, it's pretty much the same team they had when they started. Yeah, there's a few new players come in.
Yeah.
But considering two full seasons, they look like they could finish second or third in the next league up. They're probably a season ahead of what I thought they would be. And they're an absolute credit to the club. All of them. Every one of them is a credit.
They certainly are. And also, before we go towards the end as well, there's the Inspired team that are going out the Costa Blanca Cup as well. Check out on social media for those updates that'll be coming on from. I'd imagine the club will be retweeting them and sharing videos as well.
Are we not doing something with them as well?
Hopefully, we'll reach out to them and say we're just going to have a couple of weeks, just decompress. It's been a long season of broadcasting, so hopefully we can come up with some new ideas. Do you know what I had? I had a request actually from Andy Mason to bring Goat News back. Now, if you listen to us back in the day, we used to do it because obviously the goat was there, the mascot. It used to be on goat's head used to be on the club badge. So we used to do a thing called Goat News, finding funny goat stories from around the world. Well, they kind of dried up, but it's been a few years, and also we've got the medium of video.
It's still cock.
It is, but we're bringing it back. Goat News is coming back. So if you find anything funny about goats, any goat stories, please do send them in. That would be great.
Was it Gemma Greaves that done the Jebediah bringing Sexy back?
I think it might have been, yeah. And also we had a great goat impression from Andrew as well, didn't we? But if I had a video podcast then, that would have been great. People could have seen it. So yeah. Oh, well, here we are. We've got one last question, and we'll go that. Who do you think will come up, York or Boston? I think York will edge it at home. They've got the home advantage in the final. Boston, there we go. We've went to the second ones.
I've said all along the winners will come from that side.
Oh, well, someone's jumped in on the GOAT bandwagon. That's GOAT news to know.
Oh, God.
That's what you've got to come. That's
That's
as good as it gets, Aaron.
Go look for some GOAT news, and believe me, it's not funny.
It's not funny at all. Right, Mickey, thank you. It's been a joyful season. Hopefully we'll have as many laughs next season, and regardless of what happens, but I'm sure we'll hold our own against some of the big boys in English football. And we're the back top
top
non-league
tier
club.
non-league football again.
Yep,
The rights have been put, the wrongs have been put right.
The top non-league club in the Northeast is Gateshead, and there's no better way to end that yet again. Right. Well, 1 second. Crystal Story, he's put, thanks to you guys for the season and credit the lads. August can't come soon enough. Off to the stadium on Saturday to see the trophy. Yes, get down there, 12 to 4.
Yeah, I'm popping down as well.
All right, well, enjoy yourselves if you get down there, and we'll see you next, probably in a few weeks. Yeah, whenever. Sodgers.
Take care, lads. Lasses.
Bye, everyone, and keep off them adult dating sites, son.